Now at 6, voters decide. Before the polls close, we'll look at what's on the line in tonight's elections. Plus, a substitute teacher shortage in Missouri prompts the State Board of Education to make changes. We'll break down those changes and hear how they'll impact local districts.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The fate of a use tax in Joplin is in the voters' hands. This is KOAM News at 6. It's election night in the 4 states. A number of issues will be decided, but right now we'll look at a proposed use tax in Joplin. If approved, it would mean that Joplin residents would pay the city's sales tax on online purchases. Supporters say it evens the playing field for local businesses that can't keep up with their online counterparts. The city says they would use the funds to help pay for issues highlighted in the city manager's listening tour. Those include things like attracting major business, entertainment options, public safety, and homelessness. The Jasper County Clerk believes that issue will turn out more voters to the polls than they normally expect in an off-year election.
The tax, it is something that is going to increase the sales tax for anything that's purchased on the internet. And you would think that people would have more of a vested interest and they would have a larger turnout because that's usually when people really turn out when it affects their pocketbook.
The city is asking voters to wear masks when they enter the polling places, though masks are not required. In Crawford County, voters in Cherokee and Frontenac have their own tax issues to decide. The city of Cherokee, Kansas is asking voters to approve a 1.5% sales tax. And in Frontenac, voters are deciding whether to approve a 1/4% sales tax to improve the city's streets, alleys, and storm drainage. Voters in Crawford County have been turning out to decide those issues. Officials there are expecting about 20% voter turnout, and it looks like they've been on track.
And the polling places, especially the larger polling places around the city of Pittsburgh, and I know Girard, the one that's at St. Joseph in Arma, they've all reported that they've been busy all day.
As of 1 p.m., the county had reported about 11% turnout. A number of other issues are being decided in the 4 states tonight, from other tax issues to school board members. Polls close at 7, so you do still have time to get out and vote. You can find the results tonight at 10 and anytime online at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, tonight's KOAM News Now Instapoll question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much attention do you give to the actions of your local school board members? You can participate in the poll at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to check in on the numbers here in just a bit. No rain, but plenty of clouds out there, Nick Kelly.
Yeah, that's even with that in the forecast now, or the forecast for today rather, that kept us in the 40s. We've been struggling to get out of that territory for the past day or so, but at least we're dry for the time being in Joplin. That being said, we take you right to the radar network. We notice our next round of rain working in since late this afternoon in our far southern counties first, especially deeper in the green country in northeast Oklahoma. But this indeed is our next batch of rain that'll work in and stay with us through the course of the evening and the overnight because of an upper level wave that quickly worked out of California and is working through the state of Kansas as we speak. In fact, it's cold enough in a few spots, especially far western Kansas. A little bit of snow is actually trying to mix in, but we're not expecting any wintry weather to come our way. It certainly feels like December outside with temperatures in the mid-40s right now. But with all the clouds and the rain chances, we'll hold and actually drop into the lower 40s for the rest of the evening, down near 39 tonight. But we are going to dry out and start warming up. A brighter picture ahead of us now. We'll break that down in the forecast here in a bit.
Catch you then. There's a severe shortage of substitute teachers in Missouri and nationwide. Now the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, or DESE, has removed a barrier for substitute certification. KOAM's Chris Warner has more on how they're making it work.
Michaela Donham is a substitute teacher. Right now, she's helping out at the Carl Junction Primary Center. She began subbing last year and has completed at least 60 college credit hours, which, up until now, has been the requirement to get certified as a substitute in Missouri. But there's a severe substitute shortage that even Michaela has noticed.
We were really needing substitutes in our building. I have seen other schools that I have worked at that they will replace specials teachers and put them in real classrooms if needed, which kind of takes away from our students.
DESE recently added a new pathway to becoming a certified substitute in Missouri. Those interested in being subs can now take a 20-hour online course from DESE to receive their certification. Carl Junction Superintendent Dr. Phil Cook is hopeful that will bring in more candidates.
That'll help a little bit. It's still up to us to, when people come in to apply to be a sub, it's important that we're putting good people in the classroom with our kids.
Carl Junction isn't the only district seeing the shortage. Neosho is another on that long list. Neosho Superintendent Dr. Jim Cummins sees the change as opening a door to other qualified candidates that may not have completed the 60 college credit hours.
To me, what DESE has done is allowed us to do that, to go out and train people that we need to come in and be subs without going through some of the old standards.
Michaela says the change is a good thing, as the need for subs is causing other issues in the schools.
Personally, I think it's helpful because our kids are in such a spot where we're really in a bind that if they aren't getting someone in that classroom to watch over them, to care for them that day, then they might get their resources taken away from them.
She's hopeful more people will sign up to get their substitute certification.
I 10 out of 10 recommend being a substitute.
In Carl Junction and Neosho, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Carl Junction approved a pay raise for substitutes just last week, bringing their daily pay up to $100 in an effort to attract more qualified candidates. Still ahead, details of the arrest of a Kansas State representative accused of domestic battery. And later, we'll check in on the Missouri Southern women as they prepare for their upcoming basketball season. We're learning more tonight about the arrest of a Kansas State representative accused of domestic battery. Reporter Greg Payne has more.
Versus Aaron Coleman.
Despite Aaron Coleman not being present, the hearing still went on. 21-year-old Coleman was arrested at 8:15 p.m. Saturday by Overland Park Police on a domestic battery charge. Coleman's attorney says his client is pleading not guilty. His attorney waived the reading of the complaint against Mr. Coleman, so we still don't know exactly what happened. But the attorney did mention the incident involved two family members at Coleman's grandfather's home and that the complaining victims were the grandfather and Coleman's brother. Both of them and Coleman's mother attended the Zoom hearing, and all of them said they wouldn't feel unsafe having contact with Mr. Coleman. It was also mentioned that the mother is looking to seek private help for him. This is not the first time Coleman has been in the middle of controversy, facing disciplinary actions for threatening posts online and admitting to posting revenge porn while still in middle school.
Should resign and maybe get his act together. Try again maybe in a couple years after he does maybe rehab or something to help him out.
House Democratic leader Tom Sawyer is hoping Coleman does step down. He says, "This is extremely disturbing news. We are watching closely to make sure we gather all the facts." Sawyer said his constituents in the state of Kansas would be better served if he were to resign and get the help he badly needs. But some believe Coleman shouldn't be judged so quickly.
I'm not really informed enough on the issue to speak a whole lot into it. But like I said, in general, let's just not assume everybody's guilty. Let's see how that goes first.
Later, the Kansas City Chiefs made some moves at the trade deadline. We're going to tell you who they're bringing in.
But first, we will eventually see warmer temperatures brought in, at least courtesy of Mother Nature. We just got to get past tonight's rain. Forecast next. Mother Nature's playing the same old song and dance once again. Even though we started the day out on a dry note, thankfully, with a lot of cloud cover, we're starting to see rain chances work back in, certainly as we get this evening underway. But these temperatures, they've been stuck in a cool rut ever since the other day, with highs early in the afternoon, only in the mid-40s. We dropped back into the upper 30s to near 40 this morning. We did have some peaks of the sun today, but even with that being the case, we only made it to 47 degrees so far at Joplin Regional Airport. I guess it's been the same story across the entire region as well. Everybody saw their fair share of cloud cover again today, at least starting out the morning hours out on a dry note. But then you can see on the radar network, certainly late this afternoon and certainly now at this point in the evening, Increasing rain chances coming back in from the west. In general, though, these rain chances we've seen over the past few days have not been terribly heavy. We weren't expecting it, but still, it's trying to accumulate in some spots, averaging out across the entire region to about to 1/10 of an inch. But we had a couple pockets trying to push almost to 1/2 an inch of rain. But we've got more rain, at least light to moderate rainfall working in. So if we take off the satellite and just pause with the radar network, most of southwest Missouri isn't seeing a drop of rain right now, but once you get close to the Arkansas state line, Grand Lake South, and certainly deeper in the northeastern and northeastern Oklahoma and south central Kansas, that's what I wanted to say. That's the next wave of rain that is continuing to roll in as we go throughout the course of the evening. But Joplin, you're still dealing with dry roads, the 7th and range line, but cloudy for sure up top. 46 degrees, a calm breeze, thankfully, so it feels like 46. This time last night, we were tracking some wind chills, trying to drop back into the 30s. At the very least, most of us are sitting in the mid, if not a couple upper 40s still on the board, but even with the lighter breeze, it maybe might knock a couple of degrees off for the effect against your skin, but you want the umbrellas and the jackets handy because these rain chances for a good number of us will continue throughout the course of the night, and not to mention temperatures eventually dropping back into the upper 30s. Let's break down your weather setup. We've got this next wave of rain rolling in. It's not because of anything at the surface again, we just have high pressure doing its part to keep that northeast and east breeze light. That's what's also keeping us in the chill once again today. Upstairs though, here's the upper low that was sitting out in the west the other day, quickly working across Kansas. That's what's bringing in the next round of rain as we speak. And this is a round of rain that will continue, especially from about Chinook, Pittsburgh, Jasper, Mount Vernon points south and west throughout the course of the night. Just light to moderate rain, not expecting any thunderstorms, but we are going to have this result in lows dropping back into the upper 30s. Once we get the rain out of here from the morning, we're going to finally get rid of these rain chances and certainly start to see more peaks of sun return, trying to make an impact on temperatures. 39 in the morning, 45 by noon, afternoon highs around 49. Going into Thursday morning, though, I think we'll have some partly cloudy skies around. That's going to try and help us out with temperatures, but look at these lows dropping back into the mid-30s. That could be our first chance for frost early in the fall season before we jump to 52 on Thursday. 34 Friday morning. A few spots might flirt with the freezing mark, so we need to watch Friday morning as well. But 56 Friday, dry through the weekend with highs back into the upper 60s on Sunday, Dow, and then back near 70 by Tuesday.
70 will certainly be welcome, particularly after we're experiencing this. Thanks, Nick. Coming up in sports, Kansas City Chiefs add to their defense ahead of the NFL trade deadline, and a local high school product aims to make an impact on her freshman season for Missouri Southern. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Kansas City Chiefs added to their defense today ahead of the NFL trading deadline. Kansas City has acquired linebacker Melvin Ingram from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, in exchange, Kansas City sending Pittsburgh a 6th-round pick. Now, Ingram was a 1st-round pick by the Chargers back in 2012. After 9 seasons with the Chargers, he signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers last offseason. Ingram is a 3-time Pro Bowler with 50 sacks and 13 forced fumbles in 10 years in the league. Speaking of the Chiefs, they're back to 500. Chiefs beat the Giants last night 20-17 to get to 4-4. Now, it wasn't the best night offensively, but running back Derek Gore was a bright spot for Kansas City. The first-year back rushed for 48 yards on 11 carries and scored his first career touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, he ran well. He's been doing it since training camp, and he finally got his opportunity, and he went out there and executed and played well for us. I think that whole running back room has stepped up in different roles this entire season, and as the season goes, with the offensive line continue to getting better and better at run blocking and doing that type of stuff, I think that'll be a big part of our offense.
The Kansas Jayhawk Conference has announced that Butler Community College must forfeit all of their wins this season after playing an ineligible player. And Butler was supposed to be the number 3 seed in the Jayhawk Conference playoffs this weekend with a 5-2 record, but now they're technically 0-8. So here's why that's important for our area. Coffeyville is the number 1 seed and the regular season conference champion. The Red Ravens were supposed to host Fort Scott in the first round of the playoffs on Sunday, but now Butler is the 8 seed with that 0-8 record, so kind of a tough break for Coffeyville. Instead of hosting 1-7 Fort Scott, they'll host Butler, who was previously 5-2 and seeded 3rd. That game will be in Coffeyville on Sunday afternoon. The Missouri Southern women's basketball team is just 2 days away from their first exhibition game of the season. The Lions hit the road to Wichita Thursday night to face Wichita State in their only preseason exhibition of the year. Southern picked to finish 9th in the MIAA preseason coaches poll. They're coming off a 9-14 record last year. The Lions bring back 8 from that team and add 6 newcomers, including 5 freshmen. And one of those freshmen will contribute pretty early as a local girl, Lacey Stokes, who was an all-state player for Mount Vernon High School.
The one thing Lacey brings, her quickness, to be able to push the ball up and down the floor. She does a great job in transition, getting by people. She does a great job making good decisions, and the thing she does, she knows how to finish. You know, some of her shots look like they're maybe forced. She's used to shooting that shot, so she's confident that she can make it, and she's very effective. You know, in our practice and everything else, she's done a great job of getting to the basket and finishing.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Captain Dan Kinney served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Iola, Kansas, and we are proud to salute Captain Dan Kinney. He's tonight's 4-state hero. You know, we have thousands of these heroes in our database, and you can look them up by last name or hometown. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. We're always looking for more. You just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight's going to hear more about a new system in Oklahoma that lets COVID-positive patients conduct their own case investigations and contact tracing. Also, military officials deciding if and how they're going to penalize service members who refuse to get those COVID vaccinations themselves. And a new demand for newer music on vinyl records has created a supply shortage. That, of course, much more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 after the World Series.
Thanks, Jordan. Let's check in on tonight's KOAM News Now Instapoll question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much attention do you give to the actions of your local school board members? At this point, the average rating, about a 4. You can participate in this poll at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to have the results from this poll and, of course, area elections right here tonight on KOAM News at 10. Quentin Tarantino is giving fans of Pulp Fiction the chance to own never-before-seen clips of that 1994 movie. The 2-time Academy Award-winning director and screenwriter is selling NFTs of 7 original scenes. An NFT, or non-fungible token, is a unique piece of virtual art that cannot be duplicated. Tarantino's NFTs also include excerpts from the original, handwritten script, and exclusive commentary from him. The auction is set to take place on the marketplace platform OpenSea. Pulp Fiction isn't the first film to get into NFTs. MGM Studios and Veve Partners announced in September it was launching James Bond NFTs from that recently released No Time to Die movie.
I'd rather see unreleased clips from Pulp Fiction than the James Bond movie.
A lot of Tarantino fans out there. Yes, and that's a classic film for sure. The weather kind of chilly out there.
Yeah, we are going back into the upper 30s to near 40 tonight as the rain chances pick back up. But once we get past Wednesday morning, they're out of here. 49 tomorrow afternoon, but we're back in the 50s Thursday, 60s for the weekend. But let's watch Thursday morning and Friday morning. That could still be a good frost for many of us.
Final sports note.
Joplin High School boys soccer on the field tonight against Kickapoo in the district semifinals. The winner of that one moves on to play for a district championship. We'll have the latest from that right here at 10.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10 with election results and more. In the meantime, let's make it a great evening.